Hi guys, it's Dr. Whitten, and today I'm really excited. I'm covering a topic that's really important to good health. So if you're just looking for a video to watch for 30 seconds, just skip it right now. This is something you want to become an expert in. If you care about your health, if you're dealing with intestinal or digestive issues or chronic illness or obesity or things like type 2 diabetes, metabolic conditions or inflammatory conditions, you really want to be an expert in the microbiome. Over the past couple decades, there's been hundreds of studies linking the health of our gut, our microbiome, the bacteria in our gut, with the modern diseases, the inflammatory, the metabolic, autoimmune diseases, as well as obesity, to the bacteria in the gut and the foods that we're eating. So first off, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see other important health-related issues. I'm going to leave a link to the main article that I used to study for this video. It's an important study done in 2010 comparing the microbiome of rural African village in a small West African country called Burkina Faso, comparing that to European children and their microbiome. There's some great insights into how we can stay healthy and not fall victim to the types of conditions that are so prevalent in society today. So let's get started. I'm so fascinated by the microbiome because it's the key to good health. Our gut microbes, the bacteria and the viruses in our gut, have 100 times more genetic material than our human body. So what we're learning in the last few decades is that if we're going to have good health, we have to have healthy, flourishing bacteria and viruses. We know quite a bit about the bacteria. We're starting to learn about the virome, the viruses in our body. We actually have a symbiotic relationship with these things. So if they're flourishing, we flourish. And they protect us from autoimmune diseases, inflammatory diseases, and metabolic diseases like type 2 diabetes. And so what they found is that when the microbiome's off, people become obese, they become diabetic, they get cancers, they get autism. I'm going to show you how I test for the health of the microbiome so that we're eating in a way that feeds that. So we want to eat to feed our bacteria. All right, so that's the key. What you want to be asking is this going to help my microbiome flourish, when you're eating a certain food, or is it going to stimulate harmful yeast or harmful bacteria in our gut? Great, so when I'm working with a patient and I want to find out how healthy their microbiome is, it's just as simple as asking a question. So if we muscle test her, she's nice and strong. If I were to make the statement, her microbiome is extremely diverse and robust, it goes weak. So extremely robust and diverse, that to me means it's over 90% perfect. So we could find out how robust and healthy and diverse her microbiome is while I touch the gut area. Her microbiome in her digestive system is over 50% healthy, over 55, over 60, over 65. Okay. So it's over 60% healthy, over 61, 62, 63, 64. So her body calibrates the health of her microbiome at about 64%. And then what we could do is we could introduce different products. Like that's a colostrum product, which is good for the immune system. And we could then go and check her microbiome's extremely healthy and robust, so that didn't seem to help it. So essentially we're testing the nervous system to say, if you had access to this, would that make a difference? So colostrum didn't make a difference. I also have a fiber product called galactan, and so it's It says fiber and gastrointestinal support, so hold that with your right hand so it doesn't roll away. And with that, we could say her microbiome is extremely well supported. It's extremely diverse. Okay, so we know that that's going to help. So if she has access to this, her microbiome is going to be over 65, over 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. So that shows that this fiber product will feed her microbiome and really strengthen it. So that's the simple way that I check that. So I go into all of this in a lot more detail in Module 2 of the Whitten Method. So if you're interested in being able to evaluate the organs and the biochemistry of the body, just email me and I can get you access to Module 2 Whitten Method, and it has all the information you need there. So what does our microbiome actually do? It produces vitamins, mostly the B vitamins, which are really helpful for stress and preventing all kinds of diseases in our body. Everything in our body is made from protein, so the microbiome actually creates the amino acids that are the building blocks of protein. The microbiome also creates short-chain fatty acids, which prevent inflammation in our gut. So the microbiome, when we have a healthy microbiome, it prevents inflammatory diseases in our intestines and throughout our whole body. The problem with taking probiotics, though, is that we have 20 to 30,000 different strains or species of bacteria in our gut, and a probiotic only has 10 or 20 different species. So we're creating billions and billions of a few select bacteria in our gut, but what we really want to be doing is growing all the different healthy strains in our gut bacteria. So the way we do that is not with probiotics, it's with prebiotics. Essentially, it's like pouring fertilizer on your microbiome so that all the different species can grow and flourish. And the way we do that is with fiber and fermented vegetables like sauerkraut. We also make kombucha from home, which is really fun, and you can add different fruit to it and get some different flavors out of it. So we've enjoyed doing that recently as well. You can also make fermented vegetables at home. So the paper that I studied was from a guy named De Filippo, who studied the small West African country of Burkina Faso. The people there are very similar to people 10,000 years ago, right after farming and agriculture was discovered, what they call the Neolithic period. They eat a very simple diet that doesn't have a lot of fats, it doesn't have a lot of animal protein. It's mainly high in fiber and vegetables and legumes. It doesn't have the sugar and like I say, the animal protein. Occasionally they do get some chicken, and they actually eat termites sometimes for protein. So I'm not suggesting you go out and live in a hut in the desert and eat termites, but it's interesting to study the way they eat. And as you can see, they're doing something right. I mean, look at their bodies. You can tell they're doing something right. They eat high fiber diet, and the fiber actually feeds our microbiome. And they eat about a third less calories than we do. So they've evolved bacteria that can get the most out of these non-digestible, what they call polysaccharides, which are complex carbohydrates, and get the nutrients and the, like I say, the short-chain fatty acids that create anti-inflammatory effects and also produce helpful hormones in our body and keep our insulin low and keep our blood sugar low and help protect against obesity. So let's look at what they eat compared to what we eat, and if we can kind of follow their diet more closely or introduce some of those foods into our diet, we can start moving more towards that direction, and the health benefits are truly profound. So like I say, they eat mostly vegetarian. They use millet and sorghum, and they create a porridge out of that. And they eat a lot of vegetables, and just not the processed flour and the sugar and the animal proteins and the fats. What we want to do is eliminate the omega-6 fatty acids, things like corn oil and vegetable oil and soybean oil that are in all the chips and mayonnaises and all these processed foods. If we can get rid of those from our diet, we can at least start shifting towards that direction and making our microbiome healthy. So once again, hit the thumbs up, like the video, and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. And like I say, read the articles yourself. Read them a couple times. Become an expert in this subject, and you'll not only help yourself, you'll be able to help your family and those around you stay healthy, while the rest of the world is getting sick from these chronic diseases. You can help be a great blessing to them and be an example to them. So hope that helps, and we'll see you next time.